Hi, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, and I just love tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And I think I have another one of those. This is HYDE. This is number 6, batch number 6, or release number 6, the President's Reserve. And each and every HYDE whiskey has a number. I've already done the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4, the number 5 in German. Unfortunately, I started doing my English videos after I've already tasted those. And number 6 here has the year 1983. There's always a little story on the side. So, HYDE's President's Reserve is our Master Blenders Reserve Irish whiskey named in honor of Ireland's very first president, Douglas Hyde. So we have the Hyde family. That's Conor Hyde. He actually produces, or he buys this whiskey and then he fills it up. And his hero is then, of course, Douglas Hyde, the first president of Ireland. And Douglas Hyde was inaugurated on June 28th, 1938. So, small batch from 8-year-old, single grain, and much older. Actually, it's 18-year-old single malt. And our much older, very special reserve single malt Irish whiskey, married in vintage Spanish Oloroso sherry casks. So I have no idea what type of sherry cask or casks they used. So they did say casks. So there were a total of 5,000 bottles made of this worldwide. I have, as you can see here, bottle number 2,363, which was bottled in May of 2017. HYDE number 1 was a 10-year-old sherry whiskey, a 10-year-old single malt Irish whiskey with 10 months of finish in a sherry cask. Excellent stuff. HYDE number 2 was also, I think it was an 8-year-old Irish whiskey, but it was finished in rum casks. I'm not a great fan of rum finishes. Number 3, which I have here, is actually a single grain. That was 1916, which was very, very interesting. Number 4 was a Irish whiskey, once again, finished with sherry. And number 5 was a single grain finished in red wine. I think it was Bordeaux or a Pinot. It was a red wine. And now we have number 6, which was, once again, was a sherry cask, but the marriage of the 8-year-old plus the 18-year-old. So actually, this is from the Hibernia Distilling Company in County Cork in Ireland. And this has been on the market now since July 2017. They started producing Hibernia, the HYDE Collection Edition, in 2015. So, let's come to the tasting. Wow, that's a lot of sherry. It's not the PX sherry, not the Pedro Jimenez. It's rather the Oloroso sherry. And I always have more of a rose petal type of aroma in my nose. Very feminine, very, very light, very floral. Let's see how much grain and how much malt there really is in this. Both have been triple distilled, which means they probably bought it from Bushmills. Cooley is double distilled, Bushmill is usually triple distilled. But as soon as I say that, I must also admit that Middleton is the only one that makes grain whiskey, because in Bushmills they do not have grain, I think. Oh, I'm not really sure. So, let's try it. Very nice. 46%. Sweet spot. I love 46%. Over here in Germany, it's 37 euros. I don't know, about 45, maybe 44 bucks for this bottle, which is really kind of good for a limited edition, 5,000 limited bottles. 46% sherry finished Irish whiskey, which is not very common. Comes into your mouth. It's a little bit hot, a little bit of peppers there. There's a little bit of the nice Irish sweetness of grain. Plus, also, I think I would describe it best. I need two hands. Here you have the grain that kind of does this the entire time, and the 18-year-old malt just in the middle just comes up and says, "Hi, hello, how are you? I'm doing just fine," and then it just kind of recedes back down. And what you're left with is in the aftertaste just the 18-year-old grain. But it's really an interesting type of roller coaster ride because you get this wee moment there. Very, very good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple drops of water in this. 5 drops, not much. So I've diluted it down to maybe 42, 43%. That's not the real reason. The real reason is I hope to activate the sherry taste in there as well. I didn't have much sherry at all. The first time I tasted this, the nose is a lot, but in the mouth there really wasn't. This is the same tactic I use, or strategy I use, by the way, with Japanese whiskey. If you put water in there, that smoky peatedness really just comes out, and really just like a bouquet develops also in your mouth. Those water-soluble oils really do help a little bit of water in there. Much better. Don't dilute it. Just give it a few little drops of water, and that sherry just kicks in. Now you have a full roundedness. You have the sherry, you have the 8-year-old grain, and you have the 18-year-old single malt that all just come together, and it's really a nice bouquet in your mouth. Excellent. I'm going to give this actually a B+. I really like it. Value for money, 36, 38 euros. Over here in Germany, that's not cheap for a good bottle of something, even especially Irish whiskey. So I'm going to give it a solid B. A B+. The mouth and the nose, maybe more of a B-. The Oloroso sherry is a little bit too intense for my personal opinion. I don't know if that's a possibility, but some people don't like it as much as I do. Or some people like it more than I do. But yeah, a solid B+. Wow. So, HYDE No.6, President's Reserve, 1938, 46%, 8-year-old grain, triple distilled, mixed, married together with 18-year-old single malt in a Oloroso sherry. Casks, highly recommendable if you can find it in the States. Grab a bottle. As I said, limited edition, only 5,000 bottles worldwide. Maybe it's not even in the States. As I said, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.